Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gambling on Hockey on the Parlay Network, Canada's sports betting network. I'm your host, Celine Trimarchi, alongside my co-host, Luca Rosano. Before we get into today's picks, let's bring it back a little bit. So there was quite a few games that went on since I last was here, which was Thursday. So let's see, percentage. I'm at 58% right now, Luca. The last couple games didn't do so well. I was at 61, as you all know. Now I kind of plummeted 3%. I think that's 3%. Yes. Down. So Luca, what are you at?
I'm at 56%. So yeah, last time
Sure.
you were on the show was on Thursday. We had quite a bit of games. I think it was like 12. I
Mhm.
didn't do well there, but Friday with Steven, who did fill in from North Star, I actually did pretty well. I went 4 of 6. So after all
Ah,
that, I am 56%, but you still are beating me, Celine. So that is my goal, to beat you on this show, and hopefully I can get to that before the season's done, which is pretty soon, the regular season at least.
okay, yes, yes. Well, there's still, like you said, there's still a few games left to go. So, I mean, the chances are there. You could totally beat me, or I could just completely dominate and be the best bet picks ever, you know? Okay, so let's just get into tonight's game. So it's a quiet night. There's only 4 games going on tonight. So let's start off with the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. So let's talk about a team that's at the top of the NHL, a leading board, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. So tonight's matchup between the Edmonton Oilers and Colorado, I would think it's more of a offense versus offense
Yeah.
matchup tonight, and I'm sure you would say the same and everybody else. So if you were going to bet on tonight's game, who are you going to take? Because Colorado is the favorite here, but I mean, this game's very hard. It's very hard to pick. So who are you taking tonight, Luca?
I think expect a lot of goals either way. I like the over in this
Mhm.
one, but in terms of the pick here on the puck line, I'm going with Edmonton. I'm going with Edmonton plus 1.5. I think a lot of goals will be scored. This is going to be a high octane offensive game. And I do like the Oilers to keep it really close. I would not be surprised if they even win this game. You look at the Oilers, they're going through a dominant run so far. I mean, they've scored 5.4 goals, which is insane over the last 5 games. McDavid, Draisaitl, these guys are leading the way. And yeah, the Avalanche, they've been playing really well too. They've won 3 in a row. The Oilers have won 5 in a row. So something's got to give here. But I'm thinking this is going to be a close one. Edmonton will keep it close. Expect a lot of goals. It's going to be fun. But give me Edmonton plus a goal and a half. I like that in my back pocket here.
Yeah, I was going to pick Colorado because I'm like, they're probably the favorite here. They're gonna win the game. But then when I actually looked at the stats and everything, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of iffy on that pick because I kind of want to stick with the Edmonton Oilers, but Colorado's so good as well. But I'm sticking with the Canadian-based team, the Edmonton Oilers tonight. I mean, their previous 6 matchups, they were 3-3, so it's a fairly even score. And you also have 10 plus goal scorers on Colorado, but you have a lot of good goal scorers on Edmonton as well. But I'm still going to take Edmonton. I mean, they've been averaging 5.5 goals over the last 5 games. Then they're riding their best 5 game win streak. So, that being said, I'm going to take Edmonton on the spread, but I'm also going to take the over as well, and it's six and
Yeah.
a half. I mean, they have solid players, even with their defense. I mean, there's Tyson Berry, there's Cody Cecchi. Sorry, I'm Italian. I say it like how the Italians say it. And there's Darnell Nurse as well. Then the Ford, Evander Kane. I mean, he's only played 23 games with the team, and he already has 20 points, 12 goals. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a really tight game tonight, but I'm still taking the Edmonton Oilers. Next game, the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. So, from the best team to the absolute worst team, the Montreal Canadiens, they host the Boston Bruins tonight. This should be an easy pick. Luca, who are you going to take?
I hope it's an easy pick and it's not a bit of a trap game because the Canadians have been weird like that. It's like you think they're going to get dominated, but they've been keeping games close. I think it was a couple times last week. Yeah, they've been a very decent bet lately. But I'm going to go with Boston because they hold so much offensive depth and they have been moving the needle. And I mean, you look at what they've been doing. They've scored, they scored 4 goals on 45 shots going back to Friday in that impressive showing against Winnipeg, and that was without Patrice Bergeron. So that was a statement for the Bruins in that spot. They're 11-2-1 over their last 30 days of play. So this is a team that's hitting their stride at just the right time with the playoffs blooming. They're 5-0 in their last 5 games against the Canadiens, so this has been a one-sided series matchup. The Bruins are 8-2 in their last 10 road games, and the Canadiens have been horrible at home, just going 5-14 in their last 19 home games. So I'll lay the goal and a half here. I think Boston has its way with Montreal.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Boston Bruins on this one as well, and I'm also that confident that I'll take them on the money line at minus 235 as well. I mean, Boston's last 14 games, they're 11-2-1, and Boston won the last two meetings this season against Montreal with a combined score of 10-2. So I mean, I'm pretty confident that the Boston Bruins are going to take the win here tonight. And Montreal only has two players with 30 plus goal scores, and they're both young guys. I mean, it's Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki. But then Boston, you got six players with 30 plus points. I mean, there's so many. It's such a more dominant team, Boston, compared to Montreal. I mean, you have McAvoy, Pasternak, Marchand, even Hall as well. He's been playing really well. And Cole, he has 7 points in his last 5 games. I mean, yes, Bergeron is out, but we've seen other players step up, like you were saying. So if you're going to pick on this game tonight, we're saying Boston, so take Boston on the puck line. The next game, the Nashville Predators look to continue their successful offensive powerhouse in Anaheim. So if you're taking this team, the favorite here is Nashville at minus 1.5. Who are you picking? You picking the Ducks on this one? Or are you sticking with the Preds?
No, I'm going with the favorite here, going with the big guns of Nashville. The Ducks have actually been a decent home team this season on home ice. But Nashville, they have a better road record than Anaheim does a home record. So there's going to be no concern regarding that in this one. The Predators, they're finding their form. They've won 9 of their last 13 meetings between these two. And I think tonight's going to be number 10. This has been a series that's been dominated by them. And I expect the Predators to extend Anaheim's losing streak to 7 games. This Ducks team is
Mm,
going the other way. They have not been playing well. I don't expect them to get a win in this spot, which is why Nashville is heavily favored here. Preds are 6-2 in their last 8 games.
mhm.
And yeah, they have just dominated the series. So it's hard to bet against them in this spot. I'm going with Nashville minus 1.5.
Yeah, and going off of that point, when you just said they're 6-2 in their last 8 games, they've also outscored their opponents 38-20. So I mean, compared to the Anaheim Ducks, who are descending on everything here, the Nashville Predators are ascending. I think I said that word correctly. I mean, I wasn't an English major, so we'll just let that one slide. But I'm going to take the Nashville Predators on this one as well. I mean, their game against Toronto as well. There were 6 Preds that posted multi-point points in their 6-2 win against Toronto. So they're on fire. And you mean Matt Duchene as well, 17 points in his last 9 games, 9 goals, 8 assists. And Roman Yossi, he's been having quite a freaking year. Let me just say that. I mean, he's literally on track to at least maybe just hitting 100. There's still quite a few points to go, but he's getting fairly close. And the last game that they just played, he joined Bobby Orr as the only defenseman in NHL history to tally at least 3 points over 4 consecutive games. So he's been having a huge year. And Anaheim, like you've been saying, they're 0-4-2, their losing streak. And the last meeting, Nashville won 4-1. So if you're looking to bet on this game, you should just stick with the favorite and not take the underdog here and go with the Nashville Predators.
Yeah.
And the last game, it's a heavy matchup between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild. And that's going to be taking place in Minnesota. But I feel like this could be an easy game too, but who really knows here? So, Luca, who are you going to take?
Yeah, Vegas has been struggling. I can't
Mhm.
overlook this spot here. I'm going to go with Minnesota minus 1.5. I think they have the edge offensively in this matchup, which is going to be
Yeah.
huge. You look at a guy like Matt Zuccarello, has 1 point or more in 8 of the last 10 games. He's been killing it. And the Knights, they rank 14th in goals per game and 8th in shots per game. And they've struggled on the road. They're 0-5 in their last 5 road meetings. While Minnesota, they have looked really good at home this season, 19-7-1 on home ice. I'll take that stat to the bank. And yeah, I think the Wild will win this game. They will win it comfortably. And this is just too much offensive firepower for Vegas to keep up with. So I know I'm going heavy favorite tonight, but rightfully so. I would say like three out of these 4 matchups are
Yeah.
one-sided heavy. So yeah,
Yep.
I'm going to go with another favorite here with Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Minnesota as well on that one. Minnesota's healthy, like you were saying. Vegas is not healthy. I mean, when you look at the injuries, there's Pacioretty that's out, Stone Smith. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There's 8 players that are injured, and Minnesota. There's no players that are injured. So I feel like this is going to be a total one-sided matchup. Minnesota's healthy, and they've won four. They're 4-1-1 in their last 6 games, and they sit third in the Central. And now they're going to start ramping up speed because the playoffs are literally closing in right behind. And Cam Talbot, he's been pretty unstoppable, and he's confirmed for tonight. He's won each of his past 5 starts, and he's only allowed just 3 goals total in his past 2 games. So if that doesn't say enough about our picks tonight, so we got Minnesota Wild, that we're taking. We're taking the Nashville Predators, the Boston Bruins, and we're taking a favorite with the Edmonton Oilers. Luca, you and me had the same picks all day today.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy. I guess great minds think alike. Hopefully, we both go 4-0. But yeah, it seems like it's an easier slate tonight.
yeah.
I hope I'm right, and hopefully this doesn't go the other way on us. But yeah, we're 4 for 4 with our picks.
No, I'm sure that we're going to be very dominant in tonight's game. So we got to think positive. And on a positive note, let's get into the NHL trade deadline. Just real quickly here, we're going to state our favorite trades. I'll
Yeah,
start off and I'll say, I mean, Kyle Dubas stepped it up. I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, for all you Leaf fans, we've been begging for a D for quite some time. And now we got Mark Giordano. I'm not biased or anything, but I actually like this pick a lot. I mean, and they didn't have to give out a first round pick either. They just took 2 seconds and a third round pick. That's what they ended up giving out. And Seattle, they're retaining 50% of his salary. So
yeah.
we still have money left over. That's huge. And they also got a solid fourth line player, Colin Blackwell, as well within that deal. So out of all the trades, I'm going with that one was my favorite. I mean, but the Marc-Andre Fleury to Minnesota, that was up there as well, I will say. But since I'm from Toronto, I'm sticking with Mark Giordano, and I can't wait to see what else Dubas has up his sleeves. Fingers crossed. How about you, Luca? What's your
Well,
favorite?
right now the trade deadline is ongoing, so yeah, we're gonna have a
Hmm.
lot to talk about
Yeah.
tomorrow once it officially ends at 3 o'clock. So it actually is winding down here. We got a bit, well, exactly a half hour left. Yeah, I'm gonna be a homer too. I'm doubling down. I had it written down. I had a feeling you were gonna go with the Giordano pickup. I'm going with that as well. I thought that was a huge move for the Maple Leafs.
Mhm.
Sunday, I was watching March Madness. I got the news drop. I'm like, wow, they actually pulled it off.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you said, they're getting Giordano and Blackwell from the Kraken in exchange for 2 second-round picks, 2022 and 2023, a third-round pick, 2024. And the big thing here, you already mentioned it, Celine, they're retaining 50% of his remaining contract, which is absolutely huge. You look at Giordano in 55 games with the Kraken, 6 goals, 17 assists, and 23 total points.
Mhm.
While his offensive production has slowed down, he's going to benefit this team where they need him the most, and that's defensively. They
Mhm.
need good defense, and this is a Leafs team that has struggled with goal prevention in recent weeks, and they're still without key defender Jake Muzzin due to injury. So this had to be a move the Leafs had to make. They needed to go out and get a defenseman. They do. It's a proven vet. It's a guy who's done it. It's a guy who's been in the league for a while, and he's going to be big for this team come playoff time. So I was very satisfied once I heard of this trade go down, and I
Mhm.
think the Leafs got him at a reasonable price tag. So yeah, this is my favorite trade, and I really think this was a big win for the Leafs.
We're sticking with our home team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, in case you all are wondering. Well, I don't think you are wondering because we're both from Toronto and this is a Canadian based podcast and we're both from here. Also, I just wanted to mention as well that the NHL trade deadline, just like you said, I'll just repeat it again. It's not over yet. There's still a half hour left. So, I mean, anything can happen. And also, if Kyle Dubas didn't make that trade, hot take on this, I feel like this could have been close to the end of his time here in Toronto. I mean, because we've all been waiting and waiting for him to do something, and now he has. So I feel like he's going to stick around a bit longer, at least I'll say. But thank you all for listening to the Gambling on Hockey on the Parlay Network, Canada's sports betting network. I am your host, Celine Trimarchi, alongside my co-host, Luca Rosano. NHL trade deadline, not finished yet. Keep watching. There's still stuff that can be going on. Who knows? But like Luca was saying, it has kind of slowed down, but still keep your eye out. And we'll catch you back here tomorrow to talk if we were 4 out of 4 tonight, which I think we're going to be hopeful and we're going to stick 4 out of 4, or maybe the underdogs will come up, but we're hopeful.